Hey, it's Patrick. I just wanted to make a video about the news that Adobe is canceling Animate, the program that used to be Flash. I personally never used it. I tinkered with it 20 something years ago, but I never really liked vector animations. And that's when I was really creating a lot of animations, is when vector animations and Flash specifically were pretty much the only way to go. But it looks like after almost 30 years, they're just killing the program entirely. And I feel bad for people that have their workflows, centered around the software. When I was working on Trep back in 2002, I used a program called Animation Stand Pro, and it doesn't exist anymore, and it's very hard to find information about it online. But I have all these old files that I used to create a 22-minute animation, and I can't open the files. Like, I have the exported movie files, but I can't make any edits to the actual animation. And it was all hand-drawn, pixel-based, raster-based animation. I drew it in either scanned in drawings or used a Wacom tablet back then to create the drawings within the software. So basically, I just want to say a warning to people that have a ton of work in Animate. What I would consider doing is just having like an older computer that can run it and just keep it, as like a backup computer in case you ever want to open up those files and reuse them. I don't know if that's a good solution, but it's something to think about. I'm not even sure, like if we go to Adobe's Animate end of life facts page, and I'm not even totally sure if like after a year from now, you're going to even be able to open the app. So, unless you've purchased an older version of it back in the day, that you can open without an internet connection, I think a year from now, a lot of people are going to be locked out of their projects. So if we look at their facts, it's starting on March 1st of this year, 2026. Their Animate, the program, is no longer going to be available for purchase. And it sounds like you're going to be able to use it for another year, but access to your Animate files and project data will end on the date that support ends. So access to your files will end in a year. And that's, a little scary thought, especially since people are kind of renting the software. I made a video a couple of videos ago about how Apple's seems to be switching Final Cut Pro and some other software into trying to make it a rental version instead of owning it. And I'm not happy with the direction that things are going. And this is just another example of what a company can do when you're renting your software. They can basically just turn it off. What if you're a big studio using the software and you're in the middle of production and you foresee more than a year's worth of use? You're going to have to find a new software, train all your animators on the new software, and switch everything over. It'd be a huge hassle. And I just don't know why Adobe just doesn't let people continue using the software and for beyond this year, and saying, hey, we're not going to make any more updates to this, and no more feature requests. Okay, that would be better than what they're doing, just shutting it down. One thing I noticed when I was in my browser and I searched for Adobe Animate, the very first thing that comes up is this ad. And if you click it, it's an ad for Adobe Character Animator. And so that makes me think, does Adobe think that Adobe Character Animator is now the replacement software that they think is going to be replacing Animate? And maybe that's what they think, because that's where they're trying to push people. I actually like Character Animator and I actually use it, but I don't think it's a full replacement for Animate. If you're steeped in this software, now's probably the time to start thinking about your next choice of software and what you're going to do in the future. I'm reading some things about how AI may be part of the choice, that people are using AI to create their animations and stuff, but I just don't think that's a good reason to shut the software down. If you don't want to develop for it anymore and spend money developing it, that I understand that decision, but I would just keep it available, especially you have your Creative Cloud is like a suite of projects. just keep it available for people that, you know, have been using it for 20, 30 years. I mean, it just seems like a bad decision on Adobe's part. Like I said, it doesn't really affect me because I never got into using Animate or Flash, but I have been victim to softwares going away. So I just wanted to call attention to that issue, as I think we're going to start seeing more and more of us losing control over the software that we're using to create our projects, especially as things go more towards subscriptions versus owning. And personally, I think buying software is still the way to go. And if you're looking for an alternative software, consider looking at Rough Animator. It's not a vector-based program. It's raster-based, but you could get a really nice look with the raster animations. And this program is still only, it's less than $10 right now. It's at $8, and it works on your Mac, it works on Windows, it works on Android, it works on your iPad. So I would consider looking at this software. Again, I don't have anything to do with Rough Animator. I just really like it in my animation pipeline. So it may be worth looking at if you're an Animate user looking for alternative softwares. What do you guys think? Is this a bad idea on Adobe's part? Are we going to see other companies start killing off popular software going forward in the future? Let me know in the comments. That's it for today. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.